Esther Klein, CPD Reiki 2 Training Manual, The Center of Infinity, Limited 2024. Contents: about the author Esther Klein, prerequisites for training. The training, hand positions for offering a treatment. Use of the symbols, health and safety, more information/recommended reading. This training is derived from extensive knowledge and personal experience alongside the teachings from the direct lineage of teachers and texts of Mikao Usui. This ensures students are fully equipped and confident to self-heal and to offer healing with a greater understanding of the human condition and our innate ability to heal. It is a great honor for me to be able to share my work with students through CPD accredited courses. I wish you all the best on your journey. Prerequisites: first training course in Reiki, including all 4 attunements from at least one properly trained Reiki master. Self-healing for at least 21 days following completion of the first training. 6 months practice on self and family/friends. If you have trained with another Reiki training provider, you will be required to answer some questions from our Reiki 1 training to ensure you are at the right level to embark on this CPD accredited Reiki 2 training. Training. During the training, you will enhance your healing ability and gain more confidence in your practice. Receive 4 Reiki second-degree attunements. Learn the Reiki symbols for use in everyday practice and practice with your tutor until you feel confident to use them in your practice. Heighten spiritual awareness and accelerate spiritual growth. Deepen knowledge of Reiki hands-on healing. Practice using Reiki in person on volunteers, as well as practice of distance healing until you feel comfortable to perform full treatments alone. Receive Reiki treatments from other practitioners. You will also receive Reiki treatments as part of the training, which allows you to get a feel of what is comfortable for the receiver. We recommend that you receive as much Reiki as you give, as this is the best way to learn what feels good and what doesn't. You will be given every opportunity to learn from mistakes, with the gentle guidance from your tutor. You will learn that everyone is different, and whereas music can be a wonderful addition to a treatment, it will not suit everybody. Always ask prior to a treatment if the healer would like music or prefer to receive Reiki in silence. Also, be mindful of hearing abilities, which vary widely. Some people need music a little louder, whereas sensitive people may like it very quiet. Discuss types of music best suited to Reiki treatments with your tutor and fellow students. Again, people differ in their likes and dislikes, so it is good practice to have a variety of styles of music, however. Gentle and calm music is always the best. We aim to create a full healing experience. As with Reiki 1, hands-on training will be completed over 2 days to allow assimilation times between the attunements. At the end of the training days, you will be expected to be fluent in drawing each of the symbols. Choku-rei, the power symbol. Seihei-ki, the emotional healer. Honsheizei Shonen, the distance symbol, and to understand their meanings and how and when to use them. During the Reiki 2 training, you will be taught some techniques to develop your intuition using meditation and mindfulness. Time will be spent tuning into a partner to both send and receive a symbol. This will help you to become accustomed to using your non-physical senses, predominantly clairvoyance. Whilst we do not need to be clairvoyant to share healing energy, if we can better develop our inner sight, we can be much more aware of the intentions and needs of others. Your competence and knowledge will be assessed in person during the training days. You can practice any time with a friend or family. In separate rooms or even separate countries, draw one of the Reiki symbols and use your mind to send the symbol to the other person. This is best done by staring at the symbol, studying carefully its detail, and imagining you are drawing the symbol on the forehead of the other person. If you are able to visualize the forehead of the other person, this helps greatly. If you do not have a visual mind, try to imagine the other person, simply by repeating their name or feeling their presence. Around 2 to 5 minutes is adequate. Ask the receiver to sit in a meditative state and wait to see what appears in their mind. Then to draw or write anything that comes to mind. Discuss results, then swap roles, sender becomes receiver, and repeat. There is no right or wrong way to receive, as we all have our own unique way. It is the job of the sender to stay fully focused on what they are looking at, with the intention of passing the information to the receiver. Try not to expect too much at the beginning. The more we spend time doing these things, the easier they become. We are developing a part of the mind that is available to everyone, but often unused in everyday life. You will often find that you receive information whilst giving and receiving Reiki, whether hands-on or distance. As taught in the first Reiki training, we are not providing a psychic reading, unless a Healer specifically asks for one. We are facilitating natural healing. It is always good practice to keep anything we receive to ourselves unless we are asked to share, especially if we pick up dark energy or ailments in the body or psyche of the Healer. As you were instructed in the first training, if we pick up issues within the energy field, it is best to clear the energy field by remaining in that area till we feel the energy transform, then simply sweep away with hands and intention and give the energy to the ground, the sky, your Reiki guides to be transmuted. Never report your intuitive findings to the client whilst they are receiving Reiki. What we say can be taken on by the subconscious mind and have disastrous consequences. A person lying down with eyes closed is in a very suggestible state. If you are asked at the end of the session if you picked anything up, you can explain where you felt heat or a change in energy without trying to diagnose in any way. If you pick up images of people or places, these are quite safe to share. Again, always wait until the Healer has fully come round from the session before sharing and is wide awake with eyes open and sitting or standing upright. When you offer the drink of water following the session, is a good time to discuss anything you may have intuited. Always remember, if in doubt, say nout. Your own intuition, guides, higher self, Reiki guides, invisible friends as I like to call them, will help guide you to areas that need more attention in the body or energy field. However, just as we would not go to our GP and ask them to guess what's wrong with us, there is no reason why we need to when we are passing a Reiki treatment. At the start of the session, whilst helping the client to relax, we can ask if there are any physical or emotional problems that they would like help with. Your client consultation cards should be completed before for every new client and checked and amended as necessary before repeated sessions. An example client card will be given to you during the Reiki 2 training days. You have been shown how to offer a full Reiki treatment in your Reiki 1 training and were encouraged to practice with family and friends. This will be reiterated in your Reiki 2 training, and you will practice with your tutor until you are fully versed and fluent on offering a treatment. A guide is included in this manual. Hand positions and sharing Reiki. Preparation. Before starting a Reiki session, it is advisable and necessary for insurance purposes that those you are about to treat for the first time complete a medical consultation card. Ask them if they have any specific issues they want to address, and any areas of pain. Discuss with the Healer what will be done during the treatment and, if applicable, any phenomena which may or may not occur. Every person is unique and will have their own preferences. One size does not fit all. Also find out whether or not they would like you to use hands-on techniques. Ensure that they have been to the toilet. A full bladder will greatly reduce the ability to relax, and that any devices they have with them are switched off, your own too, providing they are not required for emergency purposes. Remove jewelry and watches if possible. Open them up to the energy using diluted rose oil, or imagined, by drawing the protective symbol of the cross at the brow center, third eye, and on each hand and foot at its solar center. Crystals. You will have been presented with 2 Reiki charged crystals on completion of your Reiki 1 training. Rose quartz and clear quartz points or similar. Ensure they are cleansed prior to each treatment and place in the hands on the Healy. Thus, rose quartz in the left palm with the point directed upwards towards the shoulder. Clear quartz in the right palm with the point directing downwards towards the feet. You may of course work without crystals, but these have been specially chosen for you by your master teacher and help to focus and channel energy through the body by both their vibration and by holding your intent. There are many ways in which crystals are now used for natural healing, and they do complement Reiki healing perfectly. There is no rule that enforces their use, it is left to personal choice. Ground yourself and perform Reiki Healing if this is of your preference, or otherwise intend the Reiki energy to flow and begin your treatment. Invite your guides to be present and assist with the healing process, and if it is fitting, ask the Healy to do the same. As previously mentioned, we can quietly say a prayer for the recovery of the person having the treatment and invite them to mentally or verbally ask for it for themselves. Reiki guides will be working with you from now on, along with any personal guides who have chosen to be with you at this time. Hand positions. 1. Tune into the Healy by placing hands on either the sides of the head or your dominant hand on the crown and the other one on the shoulder. This also helps to encourage relaxation. 2. Lay hands just above the eyes without touching them, joining thumbs to better direct the energy if this feels good for you. 3. Cover temples and ears, either a few inches away from the skin within the aura or using a light touch, hands-on. Practice moving further and closer slowly and feeling the intensity of the energy change. Stay where it is felt most strongly, until either you feel the energy stop flowing or you are guided to move on. 4. Slide hands gently to the back of the head, quietly prompting the Healy to lift their head if needed, then ask them to relax their head fully into your hands. Stay with the head positions for as long as is needed, watching the Healy closely, ensuring they are fully relaxed. 5. Try not to touch the throat in this position. Cover the jawline and a larger area by moving the hands slightly further away. This is a warming and lovely position when receiving Reiki. 6. We can lay hands on or close to the shoulders as well as over the heart area. With our added intent, the energy will flow deep into the essence of the heart. Never put your hands down on the chest when working with females. 7. We may hover over the heart area once more with one hand whilst covering the solar plexus with the other. Equally, we can use both hands above a chakra, either cupped together or side by side. We may also direct the energy through the tips of our fingers, holding them together to form a point. Usui used this technique. However, he held just the first and second fingers together in a point with the thumb, holding third and little fingers away, as demonstrated during your training. Any way of using your fingers and hands that feel right to yourself can be used to channel the Reiki energy. Dr. Usui also pressed acupressure points, massaged, blew and hand-brushed diseased parts of the body. Techniques that many of us in the West have also been guided to use. 8. Continue to palm over each of the chakras, hands on or off dependent on the area, your guidance, and the person being healed. 9. Double chelating on any part of the body will increase and intensify healing in that area. Here, one hand is placed under the small of the back where the Healy was experiencing pain. The other hand is hovered just above the base chakra. The energy built up between the two hands is powerful and often creates a more rapid clearing of blockages. It is akin to filling a balloon with air. Instead, we fill an area with Reiki energy, which will balance and cleanse. 10. Cover both ankles and knees either singly or double shellating for increased effect. A healing bed should ideally be situated away from any walls, ensuring that the whole body can be treated without the need for the practitioner to lean across the body. 11. Apply double collation to both feet, covering the main foot chakras as you pass by them. Continue back up the chakras on the other side of the body, finishing once again with the head. If the Healy is fit and well, ask them to turn over and use the hand positions up the back, beginning at the head and ending with the feet. For relaxation purposes, I always prefer to ask the Healy whether they would like direct work on their back at the beginning of a treatment, and apply this firstly before asking them to turn over and beginning a full relaxing treatment. Once we slip into Reiki sleep, we will not want to be disturbed. It is pure bliss. To complete the session, sweep the aura and/or body 3 times upon. Finish by pulling up an etheric blanket, covering the whole body and aura to seal in the healing. Close off the chakras in the hands and feet, and finish with the third eye. Mentally, give thanks for this gift of healing to the Reiki, universe and guides, before softly informing the Healy that the session has ended. Ask the Healy to take their time before sitting up slowly. Sitting up swiftly can cause lightheadedness, which is sometimes experienced after a session anyway. If this occurs, keep the person seated until it has passed. Offer a fresh glass of drinking water immediately, preferably alkalized. Effects of Reiki. Healing are most often noticed 2 to 3 days after the treatment, when we generally experience a lightness, renewed energy, and often freedom from persistent pain. Our energy can feel increased for up to 2 weeks after a treatment. However, it is important that we inform our clients of aftercare procedures to be sure they get the most from their healing experience. If there is chronic illness or pain, regular treatments are advised, every day, if possible, at the beginning, cutting a day down each week until improvement occurs. Although many miracles of instant healing have been witnessed by Reiki practitioners, me included, always expect miracles, but do not take responsibility for them. They are a gift in life that we may expect to see, yet never take for granted. It is advisable to drink plenty of water for the few days following a treatment, to flush out toxins which have been released by the balancing energy. Resting for a day or 2 is also recommended, as in rest we allow the Reiki energy to continue its work balancing the system without using the newfound energy for doing things. A full list of aftercare advice is presented for you to copy and print to give out to clients. Reiki treatments can also be passed to a person sitting in a chair. The hand positions for chair healing will have been given to you during your first degree training, but will be shown again during Reiki 2 training. Use of the symbols. One of the most incredible aspects of using symbols I have come to understand is that the more they are used, the more powerful they become. The ever-growing power of symbols. Symbols are among the most potent tools humanity has ever wielded, transcending time, culture, and consciousness. My own and countless others' research and experience have revealed an incredible truth. The more symbols are used with focused intention, the more powerful they become. Consider the interplay of thought, feeling, belief, words, and intention. When combined with the inherent power of symbols, utilized throughout history by countless beings, they create a force to be reckoned with. Scientific research supports this understanding. 1. Memory and resonance. Symbols anchor abstract ideas, making them easier to recall. Studies show they are more effective than words in aiding memory retention. University of Waterloo. 2. Cultural and collective strength. Carl Jung's concept of archetypes explains the universal recognition of certain symbols deeply embedded in our collective unconscious. Jung's theory. 3. Amplified by usage. The organizational power of symbols is evident in their capacity to enhance emotional commitment and influence behavior on a large scale. Sage Open Study. Reiki symbols. The Reiki symbols are a testament to the dynamic power of symbols. For centuries, they've been drawn, spoken, and imbued with healing intentions by millions of practitioners. Originally kept secret, their dissemination hasn't diminished their power. Instead, their collective use has amplified their energy exponentially. It's taught that proper attunement to Reiki symbols enhances their potency, linking practitioners to a lineage of healing energy. With each Reiki attunement and practice session, the symbol's energy grows, transforming not just individual lives, but potentially the world and beyond. A growing force for good. Scientific studies affirm that symbols are more than visual tools, they're vessels of energy and intention. By contemplating their significance and using them with belief and focus, we tap into their immense power to heal and transform. Whether on a personal or cosmic scale, symbols connect us to a universal energy that is ever growing and evolving. Every symbol we use with intention contributes to a collective force of healing and transformation. Consider the power of thought, feeling, belief, words, and intention. Then mix this with the well-known power of symbols across the history of all beings. Therefore, drawing a symbol, whilst intending an outcome, believing in its power, and speaking its vibration, has most definitely created a force to be reckoned with. The Reiki symbols have been used for hundreds of years by millions of people, all with the same intention: to heal. It is good practice to contemplate on these truths when we are first working with symbols, especially if we have doubts as to why we are using them and their value to us. Originally, the Reiki symbols were kept secret and only given to students during training. It was considered wrong for anyone else to see them or use them. Of course, we know now that it is not possible to keep anything secret on this world due to the internet, and that no harm has come from the symbols being circulated amongst the uninitiated. It is taught, however, that unless we are attuned to the symbols in the proper way, then they will not contain as much power and meaning. As with the symbols being drawn, Reiki attunements being performed for hundreds of years by millions of students in itself has increased the energy created by the practice. You can rest assured that the healing energy available has exponential potential, which is ever growing and transforming lives, as well as the world, and for all we know, the universe, multiverse, or omniverse, whichever we choose to perceive. Anyone can intuit a symbol, and many people do. It may appear in the mind's eye during meditation, or whilst receiving an attunement. A symbol may appear to us in a dream, or simply arrive as a thought out of nowhere, often referred to these days as a download. If we remain open to the idea that information is constantly being transmitted to us in the form of light photons, it is easier to understand this concept. During the training, you will practice using the symbols during treatments on others as well as yourself, and for distance healing. You will have ample time to ask any questions you may have, and will receive guidance every step of the way. The symbols. When we learn a symbol, it is good to first draw with a pen, pencil, or ink brush to get familiarized with its form. From there, we learn to draw the symbol with our hand, from the center of the palm. As we draw, we see the symbol manifest in light form. Using our super sense, often instigated by imagination at first, we will see, feel, and know the form of the symbol as we draw it. The ability to feel the energy of the formed symbol arises very quickly with practice. So do practice often. The best way to fully attune ourselves to each symbol is to work with them individually for at least 3 days. During the first 3 days, we draw one symbol all day, every day, over our palms or into the air, or over any object or our body. Once we have drawn a symbol, we repeat its name 3 times in our mind or out loud if it is convenient and feels good. We do this no matter what circumstance we are drawing the symbol in. So, practice this from the off. 1. Draw a symbol. 2. Repeat its name 3 times. The idea is to fully marinate ourselves in the essence of the symbol, so that we may know it deeply and it may know us. Use your imagination when doing this. Fill the whole body with trillions of the one symbol, imagining every tiny cell becoming the healing power of Chukure. Perhaps you might otherwise try to see and feel one huge symbol encasing the whole body. With imagination, anything is possible. Never doubt your ability to create with the mind. Every thought is a chemical process. Every process creates a vibration, and every vibration has a frequency. Have fun with it. Our only limits are our beliefs. Remain open to infinite possibilities. Chokure, power-up symbol, meaning placing universal power here and now. The first symbol we draw at this level is called Chokure. This is akin to turning the power up. It is used to increase the power of the healing energy and improve focus. However, it can be used in a myriad of situations, places and times. I have used Chokure successfully, for instance, to start a broken-down car, protect items from theft, increase chances of getting through exams or interviews, you name it. This symbol is an all-rounder, which once familiarized with, will help you with many things in many ways. A diagram of Chokure with the direction of drawing. Notice the 7 points of contact where the first 90-degree angle at the top, the first spiral from the bottom, and each spiral cross over. This may be representative of the 7 main chakras of the human body and help you remember how this symbol is drawn. Say Heiki, emotional/mental symbol, meaning the earth and the universe are one. This symbol helps to balance everything, especially emotional and mental states. It can be drawn anywhere at any time, as with all symbols. However, it is particularly helpful when applied to the head and the heart in the case of someone needing to find peace and calmness. A diagram of Seihei-ki with direction for drawing. Honsheizei Shonen, distance symbol, meaning no past, no present, no future. Honsheizei Shonen is used for sending Reiki energy across time and space. Distance is no object when it comes to energy, but having a symbol specifically for sending energy across time and space is very helpful. Science has proven the truth of no locality in quantum physics. Remain open to the idea that what has gone can be altered. We really can heal the so-called past in this moment. What a beautiful gift this symbol is. If you have a painful event you struggle to deal with in the now, try sending healing to it. First turn the power up by drawing Chokure, then follow with Honsheizei Shonen. We use this symbol to send Reiki across distances or to past traumas. We must be aware of the ethics and considerations of distance healing. As with all healing, we are not encouraged to send healing without a request or receipt of permission. Sending distance healing can do no harm, yet we are directing healing energy to another being. And there may be reasons why that being does not wish to receive natural intervention. Healing energy is universal energy and does not come from us. We are the conduit through which it is channeled. We must always remain mindful of permission when committing to sharing healing on any level. There are many variations of Honshe Zeisho Nen that look very different to the original. In your written manual, you will find a version closest to the original taught by Usui. On the next page is the symbol with directional instruction for drawing. Honsha Zeisho Nen. Health and safety in Reiki practice. Please read and refer to as required. Maintaining high health and safety standards is essential for any Reiki practitioner or teacher. This section provides guidance on legal requirements, best practices, and additional considerations for protecting yourself, your clients, and your business. Insurance requirements. Public liability insurance covers claims from clients or third parties for injury or damage caused during treatments. Professional indemnity insurance protects against allegations of professional negligence or inadequate service. Ensure your insurance is up to date and aligns with your practice, whether mobile or salon-based. Teachers' insurance, where applicable. British Safety Standards, CE mark and UKCA mark. British Safety Standards, pre-1993. Historically, goods in the UK adhered to British safety standards, ensuring safety and quality. CE mark, 1993, replaced British safety standards, signifying compliance with EU regulations on health, safety and environmental protection. UKCA mark, 2021. After Brexit, the UK Conformity Assessed, UKCA mark, replaced the CE marking for goods sold in Great Britain. Ensure all equipment purchased post-2021 bears the UKCA mark or appropriate CE markings during the transition period. Practical tip. Verify that all equipment, such as therapy beds and electrical devices, meet these standards and have been PAT tested for safety. CE marking guidance. https://www.gov.uk/guidance/CE-marking. UK CA marking. Guidance https://www.gov.uk/guidance/using-the-UK CA-marking. Key legislation for practitioners. The Personal Protective Equipment at Work Amendment, Regulations 2022, employers must ensure adequate and effective PPE is provided. HSE PPE Regulations 2022. https://www.hse.gov.uk/ppe/ppe-regulations-2022.htm. The Data Protection Act 2018 protects client data and ensures compliance with confidentiality requirements. ICO Guide to Data Protection, https://ico.org.uk/for-organization/guide-to-data-protection/. The Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 sets out the duty of care for workplace safety applicable to all Reiki practitioners and teachers. HSE Health and Safety Overview. https://www.hse.gov.uk/legislation/hswa.htm. Local Government Miscellaneous Act 1982. See legislation.gov.uk. It is imperative that each business and all therapists/practitioners check that they meet both the insurers' and local authorities' requirements to deliver treatments. Each local authority has its own standards and mandatory licensing schemes. Please consult your local authority's website for details. Maintaining health, hygiene and safety. Health and hygiene standards. Adhere to UK health and hygiene standards for all workspaces, including kitchens used for refreshments. Use sterilisation and sanitation methods for treatment tools. Regularly clean therapy beds, linens and equipment. Paper roll can be used to cover beds and bedding, which will be changed for each client. Mobile practitioner safety. Assess client homes for potential hazards before starting treatments. Refer to safety resources, Susie Lampler Trust, Holly Guard app. Risk assessments. Identify and manage risks in the workspace, such as obstacles that could cause trips. Ensuring fire exits are accessible. Avoiding excessive heat from taps and heat sources to prevent scalding. Safe use of candles and incense burners. Ensure they are placed away from clothing or movement to avoid fire risks. Use non-flame alternatives where possible. Fire Safety Regulations, 2022. Full details at https://www.gov.uk/government/publications/fire-safety-england-regulations-2022. Ergonomics, prevention of back strain. Use a therapy bed or chair set at an appropriate height to reduce strain while working. During attunements, use a stool or chair to support proper posture. Encourage students to maintain ergonomic practices to avoid long-term injury. Enhanced DBS checks. While not mandatory, obtaining an enhanced DBS check is recommended for working with children, vulnerable adults, or animals. Suggest students consider this to demonstrate professionalism and safety awareness. First aid kit. Maintain a first aid kit based on your needs assessment. Contents may include sterile plasters, bandages, eye pads, disposable gloves, safety pins, unmedicated wound dressings. Look for kits compliant with BS 8599. See HSE First Aid Kit Guidance. https://www.hse.gov.uk/firstaid/legislation.htm. Enhanced DBS checks. While not mandatory, obtaining an enhanced DBS check is recommended for working with children, vulnerable adults, or animals. We suggest that all practitioners consider this to demonstrate professionalism and safety awareness. It is always advisable that we obtain an enhanced DBS before we embark on working with people, children, and animals. It is good practice to suggest this to your new students before they embark on any work with Reiki. This is very good practice for safety reasons. Keep an accident report book which can easily be accessed and ensure it is filled in at the time of the accident or incident. Include all relevant details of anyone involved, as well as date and time. A health and safety checks are always carried out prior to working in any space. You will identify any potential hazards, such as obstacles on the floor that may cause someone to trip. Fire exit accessibility. It is your responsibility to ensure the appropriate health and safety checks are completed prior to offering treatments in your own home or workplace. If you offer your treatments in the client's home, check for any hazards that could affect you or the client before you set up to offer a session. More information. Now you have completed your hands-on training and thoroughly read through this manual, you are ready to embark on the journey of helping others heal using Reiki Natural Healing Method as taught by Dr. Mikao Usui. It cannot be overstressed that receiving Reiki treatments is as important as offering them, if not more important. When we receive a treatment, we get to experience what it feels like and what after effects might occur. We cannot possibly be experienced enough simply by giving treatments alone. For this reason, it is essential that you link up with other Reiki practitioners for Reiki share sessions, where you can also discuss your progress and experiences. Your Reiki master is your mentor for life and will always be able to help you with any questions or problems that may arise. Aim to touch base with them at the very least once per year until you have a few years' practice under your belt, and as and when needed from then on. Join groups for Reiki practitioners online where possible and stay up to date with any new information that is being shared. Reiki is evolving with us, and new ideas and techniques to further enhance your healing abilities can only be of benefit. We can choose to use those that are in alignment with our practice and feel right to us. Whether we charge for a treatment or not is entirely up to ourselves. Yet it is important to remember that an exchange of energy in some form is a good way to stay balanced. Perhaps we may swap a healing session for an hour of someone's time, or barter a healing session for something we need. Gifting a healing session is always an option, and we should not fear imbalance if we do not always exchange or receive. It is important to know when we have given enough, however, and always ensure self-care is a priority above that of helping others heal. Conclusion: second-degree Reiki training is a transformative experience that equips you with powerful tools for healing. The symbols enhance your ability to facilitate healing for yourself and others, both physically and emotionally. Embrace this journey and continue to develop your skills as a Reiki practitioner. In the Loving Light of God. Recommended relevant reading: The Original Reiki Handbook of Dr. Mikao Usui, Quantum Touch by Richard Gordon, His Healing Touch by Michael Buckley, Anything Can Heal by Louise L. Hay, Breathworks by Vidyamala Birch, OBE, Practicing the Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, Evolve Your Brain by Dr. Joe Dispenza, Quantum Healing by Deepak Chopra, When the Body Says No by Dr. Gabor Mate, Pure by the Barefoot Doctor,